Okay, so welcome to another Stella Sora video. In this video, we'll be going over everything you need to know about our latest unit, Firefly. Now, Firefly is a Lux versatile, and yes, we've been getting only versatiles, but I think we're about done with versatiles now because we already have the Terra versatile and Terra's next. So maybe we're getting a Vanguard or a support next. But hey, we'll see. Now, she comes into the Lux team that already has a versatile and she replaces the Minerva. And yes, she is an improvement from the Minerva. But yes, what does she do? So we shall briefly go over her skills, but what we're mainly here for are her potentials, her emblems, her teams. I will give you a team, one with the Shia and one without the Shia for all the Shia-less people. But yes, let's go into it. So for her skill, basically, she transforms the avalanche into a giant sword, two giant swords, and then she attacks the target for a period of time. Now, this depends basically based on your potentials. For the first build, those swords can be sent flying towards the enemy, and then for the second build, they're just basically falling and slashing the enemy. But yes, depending on the build, this support skill can also improve. But yes, and then the ultimate, she combines avalanche into gigantic cannons and continuously fires at the target. She then will combine it again for one more big laser that she fires. She's the first character we have that has two phases to the ultimate. And I actually quite like that. I find that quite cool. So now we shall go over which emblems do you want for the Firefly. To start things off with the level 70 emblem. For the level 70 emblem, you are looking for Lux Pen, you're looking for crit rate, which are the obvious ones. You're also looking for elemental damage and for skill damage. Those are the four that you will be looking for the level 70 emblem. And then for the level 80 emblem, you will also be looking for Lux Pen, and then you will also want support skill +3. You will also be looking for crit rate, and you will also be looking for alt +3. Now for the level 90 emblem, this emblem is the one where you can get to upgrade your core potentials. So for this one, we mainly like to look at which core potentials does she have and which ones do we want to upgrade due to that. So for this one, if you do get the Radiant Triple, it is quite nice, Radiant Triple +3. And if you also want the Luminous Onslaught +3 or the Blade Flash +3, those are the three that you will be looking for, and getting some elemental damage is always a nice one to have. Now for her teams and her emblems. In her team, you will be running Shia and Tilia for the first team. This is the Shia team for the people who do have Shia. So it's Shia, Tilia, and Firefly. Now for Shia, you will be running the Snow Rabbit build. Now if you're unfamiliar with the Snow Rabbit build, you are running Phantom Step Radiance. You're also running Rime Crystal Edge. You're running Sub-Zero Domain. You're also running Glacial Dash. Those are your four core ones. And then you also want Leoparan Gale, Rime Heart, and Rabbit's Beam. You do want one of Luna combo. This basically increases the interval of the Night Rabbit summon, so it is a nice to have. And then the optional one is Hair's Pursuit, which gives you one extra dodge, but it is a nice to have. Now we all know the Tilia, you want your Holy Inscription for her, you want your Perfect Spiral, you want your Blinding Beam. As we all know, Blinding Beam has been driving us crazy with the mark damage taken being increased by the 300%. And then we also want enemy counter. Now this is one that has been rare from us, and the reason for this is because it actually increases the Lux damage taken. It's actually core here because it will increase your Lux damage taken, and Shia and Firefly are both Lux damage dealers. Trick Boost is a nice to have because it increases the attack of the team. And then we have Night Oath Courage. This will basically increase the squad's attack by 98% whenever you do art. So this is a really nice to have. Now Brilliant Relay is also an attack increase. I've put this under optional, but you want it as much as you can get whenever you do get it. Now for the Firefly, the main reason you are here. So for Firefly, you're actually looking for her build 2. Now build 2 uses Radiance Blade, Blazing Edge as the core pink potential, and also Radiance Blade Pursuing Slash as the second core potential. You also want your Radiant Triple, you also want your Luminous Onslaught, you also want your Blade Flash. Those are the three that you're also hoping to get them in your level 90 emblem. And then you're also going to want Domain of Purity, which is nice because it increases the Lux damage when you're in an all-Lux squad, which we are in here. And then you're also going to want Cosmic Brilliance, which also increases the Lux attack of the entire squad. That is what you shall be running for the Shia build. Now, I know there are multiple people who do not have the Shia, who started the game after the Shia launched, as Shia was like the second banner of the game. But we do have a surprise build, which is the Jingling main DPS build. Now, I'll be honest with you, I have not gone into in-depth testing with this build, but I can confirm that it does work. Although my scores are a bit low right now because I haven't really invested in it. I don't have any emblems in, I don't have any level ups in it. My discs are mainly focused for the Shia because I've got the Shia main event disc and all that. But this is a mark damage build. Now, a mark damage build does not really want you to upgrade the skill level ups, but it does help to also increase Jingling's own personal damage. So you will want to upgrade the Jingling to level 90 for the attack that you get there. And also, whilst we're still on it, for the Jingling, you might want to know what you're focusing on her emblems. This is where mark damage takes priority. You want mark damage, and this is an ultimate focused build. And because it is an ultimate focused build, Lux Pen does fall off a bit, but it is also a good one. Crit rate also does fall off a bit, but it is also a good one to have. And the most important stat you can have is mark damage and charge efficiency. Charge efficiency main, because she is the main that you're going to be using, and you're going to want to ult consistently whenever you're off cooldown, because this build uses the ult really well. So now what you want for her is energy storage bind, as you can see, energy storage channel. You also want conductor conversion. Now this is the main player, as whenever she triggers a Lux mark, it increases her Lux damage by 136 at level 6 for 8 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. And if you do get that in the emblem as well, that can increase even higher. You're also going to want leakage protection, which also makes it so that the ultimate can trigger the Lux mark and summons a Thunderbolt, dealing 74% as Lux mark damage. Now this additional attack is also very important, as it is a 74% of attack as your Lux mark damage. And then you're going to want all the ult potentials you can get, which is basically the Lord of the Beasts, as you can see there. This one increases the ultimate damage by 99% and reduces the attack interval. The reason I've put this as core is because you want the attack interval to be as high as you can, as you want to trigger those Lux mark as much as you can. And then after that is Heavenly Karen. I know I've put them under medium, but they're all core. You just want all 3 of them for the build in order for it to work really well. And what shocked me about this is it's actually quite competitive on the leaderboard, competing with max dupe Shias out there. So that is actually quite strong from the Jingling, and it is quite nice to see that we do have some 4 stars creeping into the meta and showing that they can do something. It's just that we haven't yet discovered what they can do due to a lack of characters who can actually aid with that. But that is the Jingling build. Both codes for these builds will be in the description. The Firefly build for this does not change at all. It remains the same. It is still build 2 with the potentials that you want. Now onto the talents. I've left this for the end because I do not like to speak about talents because I never do pull them. So I basically do speak about which ones I would go for if I were actually pulling 4 talents. Now, talent 1 is actually an interesting one because when the squad triggers a Lux mark on the target, it increases the Lux damage taken. This actually helps both Shia and the Jingling team because it increases the Lux damage taken for the team. And that's actually where I would stop. That's actually why I would stop, because you don't want the Firefly for the damage that she deals. Yes, she deals good damage, but she's not there for the main damage. So going as far as talent 2, which after Firefly casts a skill, her attack is increased. This is basically a talent that only benefits Firefly and does not benefit the whole team. But talent 3 is actually quite strong because after Firefly deals damage to a target, it increases the Lux damage taken, stacking up to 7 times, which is a 14% Lux damage taken. That is quite strong as well. So it's 1 and then 3, because 2 is not really that strong and does not feel that impactful. Talent 4 again does it again, where it increases Firefly's attack by 20%. This is a personal buff to Firefly and not to the entire team, so you know how I feel about those. And then finally, which is basically Talent 5, which increases Firefly's Lux damage to a light and higher team. Remember what I said again, I do not feel very good about buffs that benefit only the Firefly, but hey, you can go for that. But I would stop at 3. 3 is a very nice place to stop, or stop at 1 with the initial first Lux damage taken. Now that is it for the build. Hopefully this was helpful. I shall see y'all in the next one. Cheers.